Hi, I'm Willem Westra van Holthe, the member for Katherine. I'm a local. I've lived in Katherine since 2002 and in the Territory since 1984. I've been your local member now for 8 years from August of 2008. In the last 4 years I've served in government. I've served you in government as the Minister for Primary Industries, Land Resource Management, Mines and Energy, Essential Services and Public Employment. I've been a former police officer. I spent 21 years in the police force right here in the Northern Territory, serving in all sorts of locations across the Territory. I've been a small business owner here in Katherine. And I've been involved heavily in the tourism industry for quite a number of years. I live in Katherine. Katherine is where I call home. I own property here in Katherine. We have an election coming up in just a few weeks' time in August 2016. I'm going to ask for your help. The country Liberals need to retain government in order to keep Katherine the great place that it is. Let's follow this video and I'll tell you a little bit more about that. Katherine really is a wonderful place to live, work and raise a family. It has a strong and resilient business community and a rich and diverse social fabric. Our economy is supported by 4 main sectors: agriculture, mining, tourism, and of course defence. Katherine is a wonderful place to live, but now a safer place to live as a result of the strong law and order initiatives implemented by the Country Liberals government. Let's take a look at a few examples. As a result of my election promise in 2012, we now have CCTV cameras here in the main street of Katherine. This was an election promise of mine and it has been delivered. These cameras give the police yet another tool in their fight against crime. We also have mobile CCTV which comes to Katherine from time to time. These cameras are used to target problem areas and hotspots. I'm proud to be a part of a government that strengthened many of our laws to make your lives safer and get tougher on criminals. We introduced tough new drug driving laws because we don't want drugged up drivers behind the wheel of a car. We were the first state or territory to introduce one-punch homicide laws. We moved to establish Australia's first sex offender website, or Daniel's Law, but this was blocked in Parliament by Labor and the Independents. We've toughened our bail laws. We made our laws on bail tougher so that it's more difficult for serious offenders and for repeat offenders to get bail. Recently, we moved to make these bail laws even tougher, but that again was blocked by Labor because they're soft on crime. TBLs, temporary beat locations, that's the police on bottle shops, have made an enormous difference to the streetscape of Katherine. 18 months ago, before the introduction of TBLs, Katherine was littered with examples of antisocial behaviour. Alcohol-related violence and domestic violence in Katherine were out of control. The previous Labor government's policy of using the BDR, or Banned Drinkers Register, just wasn't working. But I knew that where TBLs had rolled out in both Tennant Creek and Alice Springs, it had a marked effect in reducing violent crime rates and antisocial behaviour. They were working a treat. Having witnessed the success of TBLs firsthand in Tennant Creek and Alice Springs, I knew that it was something that Katherine could benefit from. I lobbied my colleagues hard to make sure that we got TBLs here in Katherine. It was a promise I made to the community of Katherine, and what a difference it's made. Since TBLs were introduced 18 months ago, Katherine is a different place. You can walk down the main street, you can go to the Woolies car park without being abused, without stepping over drunks, without being hassled for your shopping trolley, without witnessing assaults and fights and other types of antisocial behaviour. Even our tourists are staying longer this year, which is great news for the economy. In the past 18 months, alcohol-related assaults are down in the order of 25%. In fact, recent figures show that overall assault rates in Katherine have dropped something like 40% since the introduction of TBLs. Domestic violence is down. That means that every single day there are fewer women and children being bashed, assaulted and abused. In fact, all of the major crime indicators are down since the country Liberals came to government in 2012, and certainly more so since the introduction of the TBLs in December 2014. But let's take a look at a few other indicators. Since TBLs, hospital A&E admissions are down. St John's Ambulance are attending fewer serious assaults. There's less rubbish on our streets and in our parks. Broken glass used to be commonplace, now it's hard to find. Security guards are working in a less threatening and a less dangerous environment. Even the fireys are attending fewer deliberately lit grass fires. But all this is under threat. The Labor opposition have said that if they are elected to govern on August 27, they will scrap TBLs in Katherine and replace them with the Banned Drinkers Register, or BDR, which we know did not work. As recently as the 25th of July, Shadow Attorney General, Labor Shadow Attorney General Lynn Walker said that they were going to repeal TBLs. And sadly, the local candidate for Labor here in Katherine has fallen in lockstep behind her party. The local candidate for Labor here in Katherine has disregarded the wishes and the desires and the needs of this community and its people just so that she can toe the Labor Party line. It's not good enough. But make no mistake, Labor will scrap the TBLs in Katherine. We cannot go back to the bad old days. It's just not good enough. And we all have to fight to make sure that we keep our TBLs and keep Katherine the way we've got used to it in the last 18 months, a much, much better place. With an election just a few short weeks away, you get to make a decision about the sort of town you want Katherine to be for years and decades to come. A lawless town under a Labor government that's soft on crime, or a better Katherine under a country Liberals government that's tough on crime and tough on criminals. I love Katherine. It's our town. We all want it to be a great place to live, work and raise a family. But I won't lie down and accept what Labor want to do to our way of life. I will fight alongside you to make sure that Katherine stays protected and our lifestyle is protected from the Labor Party. But I need your support to do that. On August 27, a vote won for me and the country Liberals is a vote for a party that's tough on crime. I will fight to make sure that Katherine stays a great place to live, work and raise a family. Thanks for watching this video.